guys, and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. I'm so happy to have you all here with me today. Now, today's reading, we'll be doing an extended weekend reading, focusing on the energy surrounding us from Friday, January 19th through Sunday, January 21st. For the reading, I will be pulling 3 cards from the Sun and Moon Tarot deck, plus 1 additional card from the bottom of the deck for the overall energy for the weekend. And I will pull 1 oracle card from the Earth Magic Oracle Card deck by Stephen D. Farmer. Okay, so again, as I start shuffling here, I would just like to remind you that the readings, they are general in nature. The only way that you can really get a personalized reading would be to get a private reading with me. If you're interested, you can take a look at my site, and that's changingphasestarot.weebly.com. There you will find information and pricing about the types of readings that I offer. Or you could email me at changingphasestarot@gmail.com. Okay, but again, with the general readings, the important thing is to take away the messages that you can that resonate and you can relate to your life. And if for this weekend the messages don't resonate, that's fine as well. Maybe hopefully next weekend will. Okay, so we are looking for energy surrounding us on the weekend of Friday, January 19th through Sunday, January 21st. What do we need to know? What are the energies surrounding us on the weekend of January 19th through January 21st? Okay. All right. That was quick. All right, 1 additional card from the Earth Magic deck, and then I'll show you the cards and get into the reading. 1 additional card, Spirit, for the weekend of January 19th. Okay, that one flipped. Okay, that makes sense. So I'll show you the Oracle card first since I have it here. It's Dawn, New Beginnings. Okay, and the cards that we have for our reading. In the past position, so the energy as we enter into the weekend, going back possibly even a week or so, a couple of weeks, we have the Devil card, Major Arcana. So out of the 4 cards, there are 2 Major Arcanas. The center position, we have Major Arcana number 8, Justice. And in the future position, the outbound energy for the weekend, the Ace of Wands. And the card that was at the bottom of the deck, the 7 of Cups. All right, give me 1 second. Let me just position the cards so we can see them a little better, and I will get right back with your reading. All right, so we begin here with the card at the bottom of the deck. So the overall energy for this weekend is the 7 of Cups. Now, beginning with the suit of Cups, it's the suit that speaks of emotions, of feelings, of our subconscious, has to do with our relationships, psychic abilities, right? In this particular deck, the 7 of Cups, it has a different name. It's debauch, and it has to do with sort of fantasy and illusions, right? Sometimes it can have to do with, as well, addictive behavior or those unhealthy and destructive emotional habits. So sort of giving into, we can see here that the couple, they're sort of drowning almost in all of this water. We have the cups just totally spilled out, and they're almost losing themselves here in whatever this is, whatever they have kind of given into. There is a kind of unrealistic or fantasy, illusionary type of energy surrounding this card. So, it asks you to maybe break through if there are any patterns of self-delusion, or break through, whatever this might be, because, and again, each deck is a little bit different, but in this particular deck, it does have this, kind of specific meaning, really dealing with fantasies and illusions. And we have it, it was talking about these, a negative, and possibly addictive, types of energies. And it sits next to the past card, which is the devil. I'll get to that, but I wanted to, before I move on to that, I wanted to say, usually the Seven of Cups, we think of it as being, kind of having too many choices. So yes, there is this daydreamy type of energy surrounding it, so there is this illusionary and imaginary type of energy around it, but it really has to do with more scattered energies, of you like having too many choices, having to deal with too many options, not knowing which cup to choose, not knowing which way to go. So kind of not going anywhere because you can't focus your energies on one particular thing. So, it's that type of, illusion, because you're not actually focusing. You're kind of avoiding these options or avoiding responsibilities, and so there is this imaginary, illusionary aspect to it, but not in the sense that this deck gives it. So this deck does, it really does put this, this element of depression, and giving into depression and kind of getting lost in these negative addictive habits. So, and sitting next to this, it does feel like, but this is good that it's in the past position. There might have been, for some of you, obviously, this isn't going to be, it's not going to resonate with everybody. But when the devil card appears, this is a major arcana card, and typically the devil speaks of, addictions, speaks of, these unhealthy ties. You can see how the couple, right, the couple on the devil card, they're tied together, but it's more like, you see how, I don't know if you can see it that well. Let me hold it up again. They're tied, but they kind of have like their arms are interlocked. So it's almost like, they're in that situation because they are allowing themselves to remain in it. They could easily just untangle their arms. They just have their arms locked together, so they could easily kind of untangle it and get away from whatever that is. So, but there is this dark kind of energy surrounding the card. This, that we have to possibly face or examine or face something to do with our dark side, right? Our shadow side. They can release themselves just simply by letting go, right? From it and escaping from this web of illusion. And again, this illusion came up in this card, right? And it comes up again in this card. So we have, the couple, same couple, different, different depiction, different situation going on here. But there is this, they're sort of stuck in both of these. This one, it's kind of like they're stuck there, but they're, floating downwards and could possibly drown. And this one, they are under this, supposedly, the control of something, right? And this something has to do with their inner demons, their fears, their delusions, their traumas. But it is in the past, and usually when the devil card appears in a reading, it does speak of, it can be those toxic type of relationships, those unhealthy relationships, sort of codependent relationships, dealing with toxic people like narcissists, those type of people that really sort of suck the energy away or out of us, it's that type of relationship. So negative, a negative type of relationship. But it can also have to do with our own fears, and needing to release ourselves from our own fears. It also has to do with our sort of earthly desires, being bound to our earthly desires, materialism. But it can also just be, our own addictions and however that might play out in your life. I mean, for some people, this could be, especially next to the Seven of Cups card, this could be, you have been overindulging, or since this is in the past, some type of overindulgence or giving into drinking, drinking too much. Could have to do with drugs, or it could have to do with eating. I mean, there are many types of addictions. We can be addicted to relationships, to unhealthy relationships. So it's all about facing those, and sort of getting ourselves out of this situation. But there's a huge shift. So it's kind of like, I know that this is the overall energy for the weekend, but it feels like, it's tied to this past card here, because what you have sort of after the middle card, it's all new energy coming in. So in the present position, and whenever you hear this, could be middle of the weekend, or just the present being whenever you're hearing the message, we have the Justice card. So another major arcana, and the Justice card speaks of balance. So, okay, there might have been a need for balance here, right? That shows up with these two cards. And the Justice card comes in and really does represent, balance in our lives. It represents honesty, fairness, acting in an ethical manner. Justice also has to do with making a decision, but before doing that, really weighing everything up. And you can see that she has the scales here. That she is weighing up everything before making a decision. And it's also a card, it's a very karmic card as well. There might be events, sometimes when we're going through them, we think, oh, this is just so unfair. Why is this happening to me? When things like that happen, it's a card that says, trust in the universe, trust in the order of the universe. There is karmic justice. There is a divine reason for, everything that happens, even though at the time it might seem unfair, it might seem very difficult to deal with, but, trust in the fact that karma does have a way of righting things, So with this Justice card, it could be, it's happening sort of over the weekend, so I don't feel that it's really you dealing with the court system, although this could sort of play out that it does, go into next week, or maybe this was something that happened towards the end of the previous week. So it could be, and if so, this could be you dealing with the court system, dealing with a lawyer, a judge, having some type of proceedings go in your favor, being ruled in your favor. And it also it speaks of, whatever veil of illusion, misdirection, self-deceit, whatever was there before, it's been cleared away. It's been cut away now, right? You see clearly. You see things for what they are. You really look at the situation in a clear manner, but you also look at yourself, very honestly, accepting the truth of what we've done, accepting, where we are right now, accepting what has happened, right? That has put us in this place where we are right now. So sort of balance, right? Balance between what has happened and where we are, between our actions and where we are, the circumstances, where we are right now. But it is it's a very karmic card. So there could be some type of, karmic event or, relationship. Possibly, since we had the two people here on these two cards, this might be something to do with a relationship, possibly an unhealthy one that you were trying to get away from. And something happens and it's like, poof, somebody lifts the veil. You see things for what they really are. You see the person for what he or she truly is, which brings in this beautiful Ace of Wands energy. And the Ace of Wands, aces are new beginnings. Exactly, they're new beginnings, just like it says on the Dawn card. But they are. Aces are all about new things. They're new beginnings. I love it when the oracle cards just like tie in. It's like you couldn't have picked a more perfect card to come out on that. But aces are, it's divine energy, right? In the traditional tarot, we see it's the hand of the universe extending out, right? Offering you this divine gift of, in this case, the wands. And wands energy, or this, the suit of wands, it's fire energy, and it has to do with the things that we do on a day-to-day basis. So it has to do with our jobs, the work that we do, our creativity, creative projects. It's our drive, our ambition for, doing what we do each day. It's all about our energy and our enthusiasm, and for really, it's the action. Whatever our intentions were, whatever, thoughts we might have had, is putting those into action, acting on something. And the Ace of Wands is, yes, it's about desire and fiery energy, but it's also about, the spark of life, the spark of creation. So something brand new kind of springing forth, this, brand new thing coming into your life. But it also, in this particular deck, there is a really, it's really connected to spiritual enlightenment and truth and intuition and our own authenticity, right? Being ourselves, getting rid of, burning away obstacles and beginning new things, beginning new projects, beginning new endeavors, But there's a definite sort of clearing away and this getting rid of the illusion, seeing things very clearly, which I get, again, I feel like there's a big break down here in the middle of the spread. This is sort of, you're leaving this behind. Whatever this was, you are just cutting it out and you are beginning something brand new here. So I love that. And the new beginnings card, the Dawn card that came out for the Oracle cards, I like to read you the whole meaning for it. So this card says, the start of the day brings with it reassurance that the night has passed, making way for new opportunities, no matter what has come before. It reminds us of the predictability of the daily cycles. That first light that forecasts the sun's appearance awakens the winged ones, who sing and chirp happily at the advent of another morning. It's a time of fresh beginnings, from which we can create whatever kind of experience we desire. In this image, we see the rays of the sun stretching into the valley while the sun itself peeks around the corner, as if it had set its course to proceed around the bend in the river, which appears relatively still from its rest during the night. The scene exemplifies renewal and new beginnings. This is a time to say farewell to the old and honor the new by releasing any self-imposed constraints or resistance to the truth that you know. This is your chance to develop that project you have been thinking about, embark on that adventure you have dreamed of going on, and take risks in initiating what your intuitive self has been telling you to do. As this prospect becomes increasingly visible and real, doubts and uncertainties may arise. But rest assured, just as dawn inevitably turns into day, by heeding your inner guidance, you will succeed. So I love this. I love the message. Yes, it looks as if, the energies surrounding, or as we come into the weekend, they're a little, difficult. But, it seems like we are just moving into something totally new beginnings, very divinely guided, karmic, definite sort of karmic energy surrounding whatever this new beginning is, and getting rid of possibly some karmic tie that you had with another person. So I do hope that the messages have helped you in some way. I thank you once again for joining me. I look forward to reading for you again tomorrow. And just know that I'm sending you all much peace, love, and light for a wonderful weekend. Bye for now.